Here in the Federal Parliament, the Prime Minister has wrapped up the nation's debate on the conflict in Afghanistan, but it's the debate over the business plan for the National Broadband Network that continues to dog the government. The 400-page document was handed to the Minister last week, and the government says it will make it public next month. But crossbench MPs and senators are demanding the government release the plan before Parliament rises at the end of next week. George Roberts reports from Canberra.
The Prime Minister.
It's a familiar story on Australia's troop commitment.
I go to Lisbon to state this clearly. Australia will not abandon Afghanistan. Australia will see the mission through.
The Prime Minister's ended the debate on Afghanistan ahead of a trip to address NATO. But before dealing with conflict overseas, there's still trouble on the home front, namely the National Broadband Network.
It's quite clear that the Gillard government does not want to have any scrutiny of its $43 billion NBN.
The government's refused to comply with a Senate order to release the business case for building the network now. That's put a few noses out of joint.
You'd have to ask the government what the excuse is, but it's very poor form. This is making it more difficult for the government. They are burning up goodwill. They are alienating people who are supporters of the NBN.
The plan will be made public next month. Before then, some senators have been offered confidential briefings. The government's adamant there's no conspiracy, saying there's sensitive commercial information involved that can't be released to the market.
It's more than 400 pages. It obviously contains some very in-detailed work, and we are going to put a fine-tooth comb through it.
One hurdle for the government has been cleared. Malcolm Turnbull's motion to take the NBN to the Productivity Commission has failed. The government's bill to split Telstra's wholesale and retail arms has the support of the Greens and at least some independents. It's vital to setting up the NBN, but crossbenchers are indicating that without seeing a business plan, that vote could be threatened too.
Now, the Australian Greens are supportive of the National Broadband Network, but I'm starting to feel like we're taking an awful lot on faith.
In another divisive debate, Adam Bandt's non-binding motion asking MPs to chat to their electorate about gay marriage was passed.
The Australian Parliament has just taken an important step towards recognising what you already know, and that is that love is equal.
Those in the ALP who want to change the party's policy will have a chance to argue the case sooner rather than later. The Prime Minister has brought forward the National Labor Conference to next year, allowing the same-sex marriage debate to be had earlier. George Roberts, ABC News, Canberra.